After recently getting back from holiday in Western Australia, having one of the best weeks of my life, I felt a bit lost. My motivation was miles off where I wanted it to be, and the daily routine was far from what it should be. And that insane high of a holiday was swept away from getting back to reality. Whether it's football, work, school, or even just life in general, we all need balance between pushing ourselves and giving the space we need to breathe. And I'll be honest, this is something I've been struggling with lately. Coming back from such a massive high, good vibes, amazing people, unforgettable moments, and then being thrown back into my routine, it's a reality check. It's like I know what I should be doing, but the energy to actually do it, it wasn't there. But I'm not here to complain. This is a reset. In today's video, I'm gonna give you 3 things to make this underrated skill a reality. So if you're feeling like me right now, like you're in a bit of a post-holiday funk, or you're just feeling down, we're going to figure out this together in today's video. So number 1, a secret cheat code in sustaining positive mental health. You know that feeling when your head's all over the place, you don't even know where to start? This was me last week, but like I said with the secret cheat code, it got me out of this state. It got me back into my routine and motivate myself to get back on the grind. This secret cheat code is the app called unmotivated. This app can be broken up into different sections in what you're looking for. The prepare section is all about setting intentions and visualizing success, whether it's a big game coming up or just a busy day. This is where I take a few minutes to lock into my mindset. Next up, after a rough day, I like to go into the recover section. By the way, this is the section that put me out of this post-holiday down. This section is so beneficial as it's just like hitting a mental reset button. Third, the perform section gives me the 1% extra gains. From quick exercises to boost focus, all the way to motivational content, it's like having a personal trainer for your mindset. And lastly, the most important one, sleep. It's packed with tools like calming sounds, helping me get the rest I need and feeling ready to go for the next day. So whether you're chasing your dreams as an athlete, studying exams, or just trying to handle life, this app isn't just about football. It's for anyone that wants to level up their mental game. I can't stress how much this app has helped me get my head back on track. So if you're ready to take control of your mental health and daily routine, check out unmotivated and make sure you use code Matty25 to get 25% off. Yes, 25% off. That's Matty25. So yeah, thank you to them for sponsoring me. Next up, number 2, find motivation by starting small and building momentum. We've all been there. That moment when even the smallest tasks feel impossible. You want to get back on track, but that feeling of climbing that mountain, it's so overwhelming. So let me help you understand the power of small wins. Here's the thing, motivation just doesn't appear out of nowhere. We either search for it or create it. And it starts with small wins. Maybe it's making your bed, maybe it's putting your shoes on for a 5-minute walk. These tiny actions might not seem like much, but they're proof to yourself that you can get moving. Personally, I was feeling stuck trying to script this video, but then I remember the art of small wins. This meant instead of trying to attack the whole video, I broke it up into smaller steps. I told myself, just write the intro. Then it went to just write number 1. These little steps made it easier to move on to the rest of the script. Breaking down the sections suddenly meant I had something that I could actually work with. While focusing on just one small piece at a time, I built the momentum I needed to finish the script. Think of motivation like pushing a car that's stalled. The hardest part is getting it moving, but once it's rolling, it's so much easier to keep going. Now guys, these techniques I'm about to show you about this motivation worked for me and they may not work for you guys, but I genuinely think these are the best ways to cover from demotivation. Number 1, the 5-second rule. If something feels overwhelming and you're thinking, I can't be asked to get out of that bed and do this, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, either in your head or out loud, and bang, trust me, you're gonna leap out of that bed. The rule works because it forces you to act before your brain can come up with more reasons not to. Research shows that hesitation triggers a stress response, making the task feel harder than it actually is. But when you take immediate action, you override this response and engage the part of your brain responsible for decision making and problem solving. Each time you use the 5-second rule, you're reinforcing your ability to push through resistance. Over time, it becomes easier to take action and you start seeing yourself as someone who follows through even when it's tough, and that is discipline. Now, the next technique. You guys hear it a lot, but me, it works so well. Physical exercise. For me, it's running. At my lowest point after coming back from this recent trip, I can't remember how I thought of the idea to go for a run, but when I did, I used that 5-second rule and bang, with immediate effect, I was already putting on my running shoes. Plus, just to add another layer of motivation to remove myself from feeling down after this holiday, I put on a Chris Williamson, David Goggins podcast. And when I tell you it's a cheat code when running, it's a cheat code when you're running. Bro, I know that it may sound cringe listening to David Goggins when you want motivation, but seriously, I could have ran another 10 kilometers if I wanted to, bro. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one small thing you can do today. Just one, that's all I want. Once you've done it, let me know in the comments below and tell me what your next step is. And if you're watching this at 3 a.m, don't make an excuse. Please do it tomorrow. Trust me, those small steps add up faster than you think. All right, let's move on to number 3, focusing on progress, not perfection. You know, we often hear this word perfect being thrown around in sport and life. But let me say something. Perfection is an illusion. For example, I've missed my fair share of shots on the pitch. It used to drive me crazy. But now, I focus on improving a little every day instead of chasing that perfect performance. Because look, if you guys have watched me before, you know my free kicks are pretty poor. But instead of letting it defeat me, my main goal is to progress and progress until, ironically, I become perfect at it. It's all about progress. Each training session, each meal you eat, every small decision you make, that gets you one step closer to your goal. That's all counts. So when you hit a rough patch or you miss a goal, don't get frustrated. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Because every setback is a chance to grow. Sounds cliche, but it's true. Let's take football drills, for example. I might not get the perfect strike every time. And trust me, I can be my own biggest critic. But like I said, it's not about hitting the perfect strike every single time. It's about the constant improvement in those shots and understand how I'm hitting it wrong, where I'm hitting it wrong, etc. And look, that slight shift in technique may not change today, but it'll make a huge difference in the long run. And it's the same with my daily routine. Perfection isn't the goal. Consistency is. Some days I miss a workout, or maybe I don't feel like cooking the healthy meal I planned. But here's the thing. I don't let one missed workout or one bad meal take control of me. It's just part of the process. I don't expect everything to go smoothly every day. What matters is that I keep showing up, even if it's just a bit each day. The key is to get back on track as soon as I can. Sometimes I might not have the most perfect routine, but as long as I'm making progress, I'm on the right path. Now, this focus on progress over perfection ties back into the small wins I was talking about earlier. You see, perfection is exhausting, and honestly, it's a major reason we give up when things don't go according to plan. But when you focus on progress, you realize those small wins, like making it to training on time or hitting a personal best in a drill, are really what keep you going. For me, setting small, achievable goals and tracking my progress every day makes all the difference. It's those small wins that add up to something huge over time. To help with tracking this progress, I like to break everything down into a little journal or a to-do list. It's not just about writing things down, it's about seeing them as stepping stones. Breaking big tasks into smaller, bite-sized goals helps me stay focused and on track. And checking off little goals may seem small, but that feeling of accomplishment, it has a huge psychological impact. It boosts motivation and keeps you going forward. This is the thing, our brains are wired to love completing tasks, no matter how small they are. It's called the Zeigarnik effect, where we remember unfinished tasks better than the finished ones. Checking things off satisfies our brain's need for closure, giving us a sense of accomplishment and keeping us motivated. Breaking big goals into smaller, manageable steps makes it easier for your brain to handle. Each small win creates momentum, like a domino effect, pushing you closer to the big picture. Plus, writing down things makes you feel more accountable. Seeing it on paper turns your plan into something more tangible. And ticking off those steps is what turns ideas into action. See, this is why perfection doesn't matter. At the end of the day, trying to be perfect doesn't really bring happiness or fulfillment. Perfection is an impossible standard, and chasing it often leads to burnout and frustration. What truly brings joy is the process, knowing you're improving, learning, and pushing yourself to be just a little bit better than you were yesterday. It's in those small wins, those moments where you can look back and see how far you've come, that you will find real fulfillment. Progress, no matter how small it is what keeps you motivated and reminds you that you're moving forward.